Ingcayinde mntwanekazi,
Hey,
awuvakali Jambas, ukhona?
hey, bhuti. Cha masivuthulula man. Sikhohlela siginya.
Sikhohlela siginya
Zenza
Jambas,
waste.
sikhohlela siginya
Eh,
mntwana wam.
hey,
Nqabelana nje.
hey, Fondini. Into zininzi abantu bambalwa.
Ndiyayiqonda,
Hey, meyibhuti. Andifuni
ndiyayiqonda.
nobe ndiyiphatha. Senifuna singene.
Ndikuvile,
Senifuna singene. Hey, ndinomsindo
ndikuvile,
kakhulu. Zizinto
ndikuvile.
ezehlayo nezenzekayo. Hey,
Ewe, ewe. Into
ngiyacapukisa.
mandenze kanje. Masinantsike, masifake, sivume, sombele, sehlisa amaphaphu. Uyaqonda? Sohlisa amaphaphu. Rhocoba gubevu. Rhoceba badoni. Ndawubeka nje ingoma ibenye, siwagawule siwarhuqa msuthu. Fanele bihlatyelwe isifazi. Nguntsibankulu kaYuthu, nguNtaba kaHili, nguSiqa somile somelozana zintshaba. Ngamanzotho ke yango, owele, izihlobo zikaGcaleka, izihlobo zikaKhawuta. Zukulwana ke Mapehleni, kooCabashi, koonkomo zibomvu. Iinkomo zikaDikana ezo, iinkomo zikaLubisi. Into zakulo ibeka wakulokani. Zukulwana ke Mantlaneni, koontlanga, koonqabane. Into zikaNgqungqushe, zikaZiqelekazi, zikaHlamba ngobende amanzi ekhona. Ndithi ke makube chosi kubele. Kungabikho abaqumbayo nabaqalekisayo ngokungababizi. Ncamagushe kokhokho bam amatshawe, otshiwo omdange. Kuthiwa izigodlwana zamazendela zingalala endleleni. Niboyazi madoda ukuba zilahlekile. Ndicamagushe kumagiqwa ke, koojikijwa, koonkosana, koomvaba. Kuthiwa ntshinga kakhwazwa ikhwazwa ngabayaziyo. Ngookhokho bamabo, namagcina kooncancase, oomalamba yendle, oomalamba edlile, oogadluma, ootyhopho, onokwindla. Thithi ke makube chosi kubele, kudede ubumnyama kuvela ukukhanya. Mabusuku ubunqu kuvela ubuqhwa. Namhlanje ke sinondwendwe ekhapha. Sinondwendwe ekhapha. Jambase msuthu, canzi. Ngena mntakwethu, ndiyabona uba uyatshiseka. Ngena mfo ukuthi sizoqulunqa. Sawuqulunqa iyelenqe. Ngokwesintu ke sawuqulunqa iyelenqe. Namhlanje njengoba sigqugula ebusuku apha nje, olugqugulo silwenza apha, siqulunqa iyelenqe lokuba ezi ntaba zakokwethu nale milambo yakokwethu sakuyizuza njani na? Sakuyizuza njani na? Because we've lost our country, unfortunately. I was in a conversation earlier today. Someone was like, guys, what were we fighting for, Kanti, before 1994? Someone was like, what were we fighting for? Were we not fighting for the land? Besingalwela umhlaba na Kanti? Because kaloku ngumhlaba wathathwayo. And then another elder answered and said, no, we were not fighting for the land during the apartheid struggle. The fight for the land stopped in the 1880s. After the last wars in the 1880s, the fight for the land began immediately. It began in the 1500s, 1510 with the Portuguese during the Battle of Salt River. And then it intensified in the 1600s. And then in the 1700s, it was an all-out war. So the fight for land was from 1510 to, let's say, the 1880s, latest 1890s, with the last few rebellions that took place. Anything after the 1880s was not a fight for land. It was a fight by the bourgeoisie, the so-called black middle class, the men and women who had access to the British colonial system and wanted rights. They wanted to be able to vote. They wanted to have a voice in that system. These are the men who came together, Ojabav, the guys who started these so-called black newspapers, izimvo zabantsundu, isigidimi sakwaXhosa. Those are the men who lived in the towns, in the suburbs. These are the bourgeoisie. These are the guys who went to university. They didn't have a voice, you know. They didn't have a voice. They couldn't vote, and they wanted to vote. They really wanted to vote. So that's what the elder said, that the fight for land stopped in the 1800s. It stopped in the 1800s. The sons of Ongqi or Yinsa, the sons of the kings who were ruling in the 1820s. They were the last ones to actually fight Osagili. After Osagili, most of the kings were just prisoners, if not prisoners, puppets of the British colonial system. So by the time of the SANNC and all these other groups, the fight was no longer about land anymore. And I mean land in its totality, because if you're saying that the land belongs to the natives, then things were supposed to go back to how they were. So the fight for land stopped in the 1800s, in the late 1800s. And any politician who poses as though they're going to get some land and whatever, they're just lying, unfortunately. Politicians will never get any land anywhere. Not here. Unless it's someone who's willing to destroy everything for that cause. And things would turn out in a very different way. But even then, you know, we've seen when they do get land, somehow they're the only ones who get to benefit from it. Anyway, so there was a conversation I heard earlier, and it was very interesting because it is true, you know, the kings were taken to Robben Island. The kings were decapitated, mutilated, unalived. You understand that? Many kings. And then they were replaced with weak, suggestible puppets who tended to be alcoholics. You know, these guys, man, they were so invested. The British, they went to these royal families and invested in their own princes. There's princes and princesses that they selected that you're going to go to school. You're going to go to Lovedale. You're going to go to Hilltown. You're going to go to Fort Hare. You're going to go to Scotland. They invested in the royal children that they chose. And after they invested, they gave them bursaries. And when they were back, they ensured that these people allow the British system to flourish through missionaries who were really what? Who were really spies, you know. The missionaries were spies. That's all they were. They knew everything. So in the late 1800s were the last stand of indigenous leadership against the imperial powers. By the 1900s, you know, people will fight. Oh no, it was Isaac Kaseme who started the ANC. It doesn't matter who started the ANC, guys. The ANC was started by the middle class and the upper middle class, the bourgeoisie. That's who started it. And the concerns that the ANC primarily worried about, not just the ANC, the entire movement, the concerns were primarily for middle class interests. There were some zealots. Who spoke about land. Yes, they were there. But where are they now? Those who really believed in it were unalived. Those who really believed in land were unalived, just like the kings before them. Indeed, it is absolutely the case. If you want to take land, you must be willing to destroy absolutely everything. Because that's what this whole thing that we are in, it stands on the basis that no injustice is paid for. Particularly the injustice of land dispossession. That is the basis of the system of South Africa. The basis is that absolutely no injustice is paid for. That is why all the campaigns that have been happening for the past 300 years have been campaigns to alienate the native people, find ways to remove the native people from their nativity, make it as insensitive as possible to commit crimes against the native people, reduce them to 3/5 of human, make pseudoscientific claims that they are monkeys, make pseudoscientific claims of Bantu migration. If that doesn't work, make sure that the country is unmanageable, allow other populations to trickle in and, dilute the indigeneity and nativity of the people. Make sure that the constitution doesn't really serve the native people. Reduce the status of the native people to be like everybody else. You're just a citizen. But the truth is that native people should have a protected status, especially in a country that is based on unmitigated exploitation. So the kings fought. Those who fought fought. There were some who were stupid, who thought they could trust, you know, the imperialist powers like Ungqika. Nika was so dumb. He was so stupid. He was actually an alcoholic. Uh, Makoma, who grew up to become a great warrior, grew up under Ungqika. He saw all the stuff that Ungqika did and everything, all the dealings he had with the British. In fact, Ungqika had a stepfather, a white one, Conrad de Buys, who had hundreds and hundreds of children with native women, from Amaxhosa to your Gunukwa to your Tembu. In fact, he had a Tembu wife called Elizabeth. We don't know her native name, but he had a Tembu wife called Elizabeth, and he slept with Ngika's mother, Uyese, Mlawu's wife, because Mlawu died when Ngika was young. In fact, it is said that Conrad de Buys promised Ngika his daughter, who was quite young at that time. So I'm just saying that some of the kings, were really just misplaced. They didn't understand the scale of what was happening. That no, everything is being taken right now, and that's exactly what happened in the 1880s, 1890s. The last stand of the last few remaining sober princes and chiefs and kings. And then after that, what you had is poorly negotiated symbolic kings, really. No king can do anything in this country. No king can do anything about anything. All they can do is just talk, nothing more. No king has an army. No king has a real constitutional power. Nothing like that. They're just talking, just symbols. People who just exist. Jambase. Ngena mntakwethu, masive ngawe, masive kuwe mfowethu.
Bhotani, ndiyathemba wonke umntu noko uyaphila. Yhe man, andinoba ndiqale phi kuba ke undinikile into yoba mandidrayive. Mna andihambi ngaphantsi ko-200. So namhlanje bendifuna kolu luhlu lwezi ngoma zam ne, it's mostly surrounding i-politics, current affairs.
Yes.
Yabo, and then ndizayithatha from apho. Okanye mhlawumbi ubufuna ndiyithathe ngaphi kweli cala le-history.
Hayi mntakwethu, ngena, ziyadibana, ziyathungelana.
Oh,
Sizihlanganisa phambili zonke. Ngena noba ungenephi.
masendiqala apho ubukho khona malunga ne-land le nezintontoni, but yonke ke izawuthungelana. So masiqale number one. Uyambona lo ngubani kanene, uJeffrey Epstein? Yes. Abantu ngathi abayiqondi into yoba uJeffrey ngowase-Israel and i-agenda yakhe is actually working out because yinto eyayiplanwe kudala. It's a takedown of the USA. uJeffrey Epstein is Israel. He's from Israel and he's Mossad. So abantu bangothuki bona, and also he's not dead, by the way. And before him there was another uJeffrey Epstein, of which he took over from that Epstein, but yena yayinguCraig Spence. So let masiqale kule war. So you know how things are now, ne? Strait of Hormuz is closed. But in the Persian Gulf, nala, what's that side, Eritrea kanje ne Yemen, where the ships pass. So before we go on, I just funeka ndinike abantu nje umnombo omncinci. So uyabona that peace between Egypt and what is that other country? I think it's the UAE or Saudi Arabia. So there was kwangadluleki kuqala mos phaa Egypt up until France yadecide uba vula la passage. So if you notice now, ne, with all this war coming okanye happening, yonke laa nto Strait of Hormuz closing, ne, bawuyaqaphela there's a country just opposite uYemen ke ngoku, not phaa ku-Iran kwi-Strait of Hormuz. On this side,
yeah,
there's a country named Djibouti, and then entla kwayo it's Eritrea.
yeah,
Ne? Now that country is the most strategically placed country ever. Now ask yourself why I'm mentioning it. Because France, Spain, USA, China, is all have base. In fact, that country, ne, it subsides as a base for these Western countries or Western nations. So into abayenzayo, they are setting up phana kla country, which is very strategically placed, because isekonini apho xa unyuka you go through that small gap yavulwa yiFrance, and then on the other side uyehla ke ngephondo eli leAfrica. So what is happening there, number one, that country, ne, i-neighbor yakhona is Somalia. Now Somalia is landlocked, so it needs iDjibouti for exports zabo, because economy yase-Somalia runs 95% through that channel elalwandle. So they don't have a beach, and ke ngoku ba landlocked, so i-country phambi kwabo yile Djibouti. So iFrance yayibona le nto, I think about 10-15 years ago, they went to set up a base phaa kanye kanye. After seeing that, Italy, it settled in Eritrea. Yayibona mos Eritrea, it's a long strip. So it's yaqala kancinci by buying small pieces of land apha ngaselwandle kwabalubi nabafama, up until it bought the entire thing. Do you know what they're preparing for, ne? Because they have nothing in Europe and they must import everything. La channel yayivulwe yiFrance between Egypt le incinci is pivotal to the survival of Europe and the West, because intoni, if that canal would close, ne, then it would mean yonke ishipment yabo it has to go via Russia or via i-Cape of Good Hope, which is a longer route ke ngoku. So now bayabona into yoba okay, Iran is actually is actually fucking USA up, and yaba bebecinga ntoni, because Iran has been planning for this thing. They just don't understand. So into eyenzekayo ke ngoku yinto yoba uba thina siqinisekile ngale cause yethu, if push comes to shove, into yoba akho mntu, because ndijongile nje, akho politician or party or perhaps government official or institution ezawuthathela ingqalelo into yoba emadoda lo mhlaba kaloku kudala sithetha, because ngoku bafuna unegotiate, of which ke ngoku azange kunegotiathwe ngokuya wayethathwa, kwavele kwakhutshwa umpu kwathiwa sapha juice okanye sikufaka intlava. So andiyaba number one yintoni enegotiatisayo, number two andiyaba yintoni ecingisayo, kutheni sibacenga aba bantu, of which iyandibhora loo nto leyo. Number three, aba bantu sisacinga ubacenga neRhotman are the same people after the apartheid regime failed, ne, bayidismantlisha, and not because they wanted to, because the whites only referendum, it was very specific in that it wanted whites only. Now they had to discuss among themselves, but siyafuna na uqhubekeka nosanctionwa kangaka siluze imali, okanye siyabanika le freedom, then siyazi uba siyahlala ke si-maintainer umhlaba ne-institutions. Now all these institutions you see, whether it's medical, pharmaceutical, anything, every day thina sonke apha eMzantsi, if you breathe, if you sleep, if you drink, if you eat, there is nowhere whatsoever that you do not pay money to De Beers, you do not pay money to Rupert, you do not pay money to Manel, you do not pay money to, who's that other one? Oppenheimer. Now, according to constitutional law, monopoly illegal. And then we have discovered into yoba uJSE akafuni ubanjwa accountable for defects and flaws within i-system yakhe, because ezaa banks bezimanipulate i-currency and nezinye izinto esingazaziyo through JSE. So uzikhuphe njani kulakhe, uzikhuphe ngokuthi yena ebengekho aware into yoba aba bantu bayafixa okanye bathini bayamonopolize, because that's actually a monopoly, laa nto ibisenziwa zezi bhanki. So uJSE uyazikhupha. Now apho ndiyakhona ngale nto is that ezi institutions zonke zikhoyo zethu, ne, whether it be BEE, NYDA, political parties, or whatever the curriculum, it is meant to fail us. It's, in fact, the entire structures of democracy, yinto ye-dysfunction. It's to create dysfunction. That is why we always have wars, striker, we are fighting amongst each other. Ne? That's part of the reasons. Now, another reason is an identity crisis, of which andiyaba kudala siyixoxa-xoxa kangaphi ke yona, but asizungena. Boyaqaphela now kwezi commission ujonge laa Paulo Salovin, ne, ndiza kunika abantu babe yi-10 nje. Number 1, Jackie Silebi. Number 2, Busisiwe Mkhwebane, former public protector. Number 3, lo wayithathe intambo kuye, which is Thuli Madonsela. Number 4, uBenny Ntlemeza, head of Hawks. Number 5, Brian Molefe no-Eskom neza associates zakhe. 6, the former spokesperson ye-Hawks. 7, former Prasa head. 8, i-head ka-RAF, former RAF head. 9, and then ibe ngubani nomnye ndimlibalayo. Damn it. But I think I can go on up to 20. Bawuyaqaphela ne, aba bantu bonke, they were sanctioned in inverted commas okanye campaigned, because number 1, istrategy salo mjita une-power media houses ezizirana.
uSullivan, ne?
Yes. So into ayenzayo yintoni? Xana ngaba kukho umntu ongangqinelani naye okanye ongekho kweli cala lakhe in terms of i-agenda okanye i-modus operandi, ne? Now you must understand uba ndiyaphi ngale nto. Abantu abamhlophe babonile into yoba sizawukwazi uzisurvivela. So what's left for them to do, or what was left for them to do ngelaa xesha bekuphela apartheid and all these institutions were coming into place, they suppressed their functionality purposefully, so that into sithi thina silulutsha, singumzantsi, siluluntu, sithi no, amaqabane ethu la ayafailisha. In fact, the entire government is failing. No, it is intentionally made so that uzocinga loo ndlela. Now, by me saying this, andithethi into yoba aba bantu batyholwayo okanye sinabantu abamsulwa. No, it is crime ridden. Sesiyibonile loo nto le. In fact, we barely scratch the surface, because ndiyababona abantu ingathi they think as revelations bazibonayo zipha. No, that's just a scratch kwi-surface. Inintsi into ebolileyo ngaphantsi kakhulu. So uPaulo Salovin was strategically placed kwi-security cluster wena bhuti wam, ne? Bawubumamele kweza questioning sessions, kubuzwa ngehistory ne-background yakhe, ne? So kuyabuzwa uba i-background yakho ithini, wawuzothini apha ukuze ube kanti uyahlala. So uya-explain uthi no, waza yena ngokwayisuka kwi-military, ne? Because you must understand he was in the British Army, specifically in British intelligence. So he said there into yoba wayeze apha wayeyithanda le ndawo, so waqonda uba uyayithanda yena uzawuhlala apha, which was a lie, because kuyabuzwa phaa uba uyithatha le mali wainvesta ngayo, because wayesandoritayarisha kwi-intelligence. There's no way uba ungaritayarisha una-20 into okanye uyeke una-20 into endaweni ufumane imali engaka for uvula ezi khampani zingaka. So asikho lapho, siyayazi uba uxokile. Siye phi? Siye kuHelen Zille. Now ekaHelen Zille andizungena deep kuyo because mhlawumbi yona ingafuna into yayo ndikunike ii-roots zakhe usuka phi and ibiyintoni i-agenda yakhe, and then ke ngoku nizidibanisele ke aba bakwaziyo udibanisa, ne? Now uPaul wathatha yena i-functionality ye-security uba makayenze dysfunctional. Uyaqaphela most cases zakhe okanye the stuff he speaks or the people he talks about ngaba bantu benza umsebenzi. General Phahlane lo amtyholayo ngoyena mntu usebenzayo. Aba bantu kungathi bayasebenza ngaba ufumaniseke uba baya gaslight okanye kutshintshwa i-narrative ibe ngathi ngabo aba babi. Ukubona Goodman. So ndenzela into yoba abantu aba bangothuki. Xa ngondimenshina abantu bamenshina ngamabomi because I need them to understand into yoba abasukanga is because u-Eskom, number one, siye kule kaBrian Molefe. They were purposefully making u-Eskom dysfunctional, bemsinda, doing everything in their power so that azoba privatized. You know why?
Like
Because there's
SAA,
4
kanje.
companies. Eh?
Just like SAA kanje.
Exactly. It's because there are 4 companies as supply Eskom the coal. Ne? All those 4 companies are under one umbrella cooperation if you really look deep into it. But at face value, naxa researcher these companies, they somewhat separate. But no, they have 30 to 40-year contracts, Goodman, of 200 million rand contracts. That is why befuna zifile okanye zibe privatize ezinto so that bazoqhubekeka batye. Now sidlule ke kwezo, ndigqithile kwi-politics ngoku. Sizingena kule ndaba yabantu abamhlophe, ne? Nento yoba nali ilizwe limka madoda sijongile. Number one, we must understand. Okay, perhaps before singena, ndifuna nje, can I enlighten you on something? Do you, or are you knowledgeable of the concept of spiritual or bathi yintoni spiritual maths? So I'll just give you umzekelo, ne? Uyaqaphela esintwini andithi mosi, okay mandithi esidodeni, isidoda sizalwa sisiXhosa, andithi babe singekho isiXhosa ngesingekho isidoda, ne? Now we must understand into yoba esiXhoseni okanye esintwini we have 3 main pillars. Pillar yokuqala intombi nekwekwe, pillar yesibini umfazi nendoda, pillar yesithathu ngumfana nentombi, andithi. Now everything else is around or perhaps constructed around loo nto leyo. Uyaqaphela kukho ulwaluko, kukho intonjane, kukho umtshato, uyabo, kukho into. So everything is surrounded according to isintu sethu, is surrounded ezo pillars zintathu. Now siye ke ngoku kwi-spiritual maths. If you multiply any number by 3, ne Hotman, now this is taking into consideration i-number line yodwa, because there's 9 numbers, asimbali u-0 because it's non-existent. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 3 numbers who have a pattern, which is 3, 6, 9. Now, if you multiply any number by 3, the sum of that answer, so masithi 3 times 5 ngu-15, isum ka-15 izaba ngu-1 plus 5. So the sum of that will always either equal to 6 or 9. The same goes for
Gonna
9.
be a
The same
center
goes
of
for
three.
6.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, size kwintoni, look at ubomi obu in general, une-past, present, une-future. There is birth, there is life, there is death. There is the body, there is the soul, there is the mind. Right?
Yeah.
There is input, process, output. Uyabona uba zonke izinto, they are in trinities. Now, let's look at maths. Siye kwi-trig straight. Ii-angles wena bhuti wam, 90-degree angle ngubani? Ngu-90 degrees. I-straight line ngu-180. I-full circle is 360. Now siphinde sibuye. U-9 plus 0 ngubani? Is nothing because besithe simbala u-0. Ku-9 90 degrees. U-180, it's 1 plus 8, which is equal to 9. Siye ku-360 because asimbala u-0. U-3 plus 6 ngubani? Ngu-9. Now siye esiXhoseni. Si specifically ezindlini zethu, andithi kukwindlu yomama, kukwindlu yotata, kube kwindlu yabafana. Iintombi namankazana zinandlu andithi. That's 3. Now xa ungena masithi ndizayibeka njani nale nto? Okay, mandikuzekelise kuba ke amaTshayina angasoze asive isiXhosa. Izindlu zethu zingaphi phaa kwandoda? Zintathu andithi. Indlwana ncinci, indlwana phakathi, kundlwana nkulu. Within i-institution yolwaluko nale process yolwaluko, yonke into idibenise nabani? Nezithathu andithi. Idibenise nezithathu, nezithoba, no-6 andithi.
Which are all factors of 3 still.
Exactly. So xa uyijongile, considering what I've said, it is evident into yoba sithi abokuqala uza ne-civilization, which is why we will never fit into this entire system of curriculum, entire system of democracy, because yabona leyo is one concept I hate. Democracy, it is a, yabona i-West, yabona i-constitution, there's a reason why they said they made i-constitution the supreme, because they didn't want parliament deciding or being the highest authority ngamabom, because bayazi uba ipalamente kuzawugcwala thina. So yayinto yangabom naleyo create into i-constitution must be the supreme, nothing is above it. If not even iinkosi neenkosana, chiefdoms, kingdoms are above i-constitution. Now undibuza uba i-constitution esuke phi yavalideyithwa ngubani, the same constitution ethi yona izawu consideration okanye izabathatha as under i-law ethile i-tribal leaders kodwa zifike belapha. So I need people to understand that democracy as an entire concept, word, ideology and discipline, it is functional. It will never work out because of all these institutions, all these leeways you have to go through for izinto zakho zenzeke. All of that is meant to waste your time and to, but you know, and to wait you out, to burn you out up until uthi ndiyayeka.
Yeah.
That is why, tell me why indoba ndithi ndiyoripota into i-case uba no ndidoniwe kanje nakanje kuthiwe no i-civil case leyo kuyawufuneka uqale uyofumana ileta civil court. Uyayibona loo nto leyo? So people must understand the entirety of this whole thing, it will never work. Now ndiya kwi-direction apho ndiyakhona, ni have some patience nje bethuna yabo. So now khazibuze wena, considering what I've said, ne, kutheni le nto xa lidecline ikhadi lakho utshajwa, ne? Because intoni? Xa idecline, ne, it means andinamali, ne? Already ndiyakubhatala imali yakho ngenyanga, which is la initial amount. Number 2, une-charges ozitsalayo xana ndisenza ndiperforma ii-functions okanye ii-tasks andithi. Xa ndithenga i-airtime uzawuthatha i-2 rand, xa ndithenga ivawutsha mhlawumbi 50 cents, xa ndithumela imali externally 6 rand, ezo nto zinjalo ne. But then ke ngoku still xa ndidecline uyanditshaja. So wena uthi mandikuphe okanye ndikunike imali kuba ndingenamali. Yenza isensi loo nto leyo into yoba ndithi kuwe wena bhuti, since Hotman ungenanwele ngoku, bendicela usela usapha ezo kuba ungena-dreads okanye ungena-afro. Uyayiva loo nto leyo? Like how does it make sense? And I don't understand uba kutheni wonke umntu enormal ngezi zinto. Let's look at insurance ne. I-insurance wena bhuti wam, it advertises into yoba mna I provide this service. Wena uba ubibhatala le premium ngenyanga, mna ndiku-offerisha le service. And then now xana ke ngoku imoto yakho imoshakala okanye ukwi-accident, anything that pertains to i-claiming okanye you going to them uyoclaima because uyababhatala indithi. Number one, kukho i-admin fees. I'll never understand admin fees because what is an admin fee? Ngubani o-advertise into yoba uprovide i-service? Nguwe andithi. So kutheni le nto imali yamaphepha oprinta ngayo izawuphuma kum kodwa sendikubhatala already. Number two, xana uwenze i-accident umzekelo under insurance the first time baza kunceda indithi, but asoze ingabikho imali oyikhuphayo. Which also which infuriates me ne. Secondly, after yonke la process you now become a liability to the company, so uyi-risk kwikhampani because udamage okanye uye waclaima. Tell me how am I i-liability ngemali endikubhatala yona qho ngenyanga, ndikubhatalela i-service wena othe wa-advertiser wathi wena uyayiprovida. And then ke ngoku mna xa ndisebenzisa or when I perform the functionality or functions of your institution or organization, uthi ndiyi-liability, so uzawunyusa ii-premium zam. How am I liability, Hotman, kodwa you were the one who came to me wathi provide i-service? Ne? Number four, if andikhange ndenze accident for the course, let's say, I don't know, 4 years, akho nento ethi thiki kuwe into yoba undinike noba yihafu yalaa mali, since as a token of appreciation or perhaps as a token into yoba no, ungumntu orayithi, singakuthemba. Ayizi loo mali, soze uyifumane, but the minute ufumane i-accident noba yeyokuqala noba yeyesingaphi, uyi-liability, uyi-risk kwikhampani. Uyayiva loo nto leyo? How does that make sense? I don't know. Ne? Now there's a lady, but now singena ke ngoku kwenye. There's a lady, Hotman, who opened a, bathi yintoni le nto kanene, andiyazi mani igama layo lesilungu, but she goes around the country. I think it started in 2009. She goes around the country digging or looking for abandoned or lost graves. Uthi since 2009 akakayeki kunanamhlanje udiscoverisha amangcwaba alahlekayo wabantu abalahlwayo all around South Africa. She opened a program just after i-TRC. Uhambe rumba okanye khangela imikhondo ekhombisa into yoba no, ungagrumba phaa. I think kwakukhona abantu ababe till this. Uyawuza gqibe nini wena Hotman la sisi plus ne-organization yakhe ufumana emane rumba abantu abalahlekayo ne. Number two, phofu mandingathi number two, enye efuneka siyijongile ne, kuyo yonke le nto yezi commission nezi zinto akho nto izokwenzeka. Nantsi into endicacisayo, akho nto iza kwenzeka because we have seen this movie before. Nantsi Zondo Commission, laa mzita wa-former head kaPrasa mentioned uPaulo Sullivan phaya, wathi khanijongeni lo mfo bethuna animqondi. Wenziwa ntoni? Wasuswa esihlalweni. Enye into kuthi apha kwezi politics, now I'm not a politician. I know I studied politics, but I have no desire whatsoever of getting into politics or involved because xa uyi-politician ulixoki, simple. Bangathi abanye no singamaciko, olo ciko ulixoki. You were bred and taught, even i-vocabulary yethu kwi-political science yeyoxoka. It's a bunch of synonyms and antonyms. Sifundisa uxoka, how to mislead people. Now size kule nto yenzekayo kwezi current affairs again ke ngoku ne. UMarx had a very enye i-concept yakhe endandikhe ndayifunda, I think 2019 or 2020 so. It spoke about the last stage of capitalism, and the characteristics zayo resemble exactly what is happening around the world. Indoba, at some point, everything is going to be excessive, and it's going to be excessive to the point that everyone is going to become wealthy or is going to become rich, and then the value of money is awusuka completely, or perhaps what people deem as value izawusuka completely, because abantu, they mistake value and status, bayathanda uzibhidanisa. Yabo. So why am I saying this? Xa ujongile wena Hotman, we are heading into the fourth industrial revolution. There's this thing called AI ne. Now people might think AI is, I don't know, these ChatGPT. No, those ChatGPT things, they are just a means to an end. It's one method. It's like a method inside the computer science, perhaps system or ideology. So AI, now if you look from 10 to, I don't know, 20 years from now, sizawuyeka usebenzisa i-cash straight ngoku, because imali izawuba digital completely. Why? Bekhe wayiveza le nto umkhwanazi, wathi ndifuna nijonge le nto yee-heist, into yoba aninokwazi kwezi cities zinkulu kuyekwe usebenzisa i-cash. In fact, the entirety of cash uba ninozama into yoba iyeke usebenza, at least kwezi ndawo zi-developed, because that's where those are the crime hotspots. And then ke ngoku kwezi ndawo zisemaphandleni, ewe ke siya-understand into yoba we will not get rid of cash completely ne, but kwezi ndawo zisemaphandleni like ilali ezikude, then we can still, yabo. But ke ngoku it poses the question into yoba abantu basezilalini bayakwazi usebenzisa ifowuni, so yintoni ezabohlula into yoba xa ukwazi ufowuna ukwazi ubhatala ngefowuni ne. And ngoku ebethetha le nto umkhwanazi phaa, it made me think ngale concept yam ke ngoku into yoba eventually yonke into is going to become digital, and then jobs are going to go away, and then there's inintsi mani into eza kwenzeka, judging from what I'm looking at. For example, most yezi degrees nezi qualifications sinazo thina ngoku sifundayo singabanye okanye abanye besafunda, by the time ugqiba apho izawube ingafuneki eso skill okanye lo qualification in 10 to 12 years time. Look at how social science as a field is deteriorating, and enye into nje infuriator, because that's what makes society runs, but and collapse. So eventually there's gonna be no need for anyone to go to work, to wake up and go to work, because AI, you can just tell it. It's like khona nangoku man benzandobona I think it was a trailer of like your own personal secretary, ba uthatha ngoyixelela into yoba ifowuni ba cela undiorganizele ii-appointment zam, undibhalele ezi emails kwaba bantu ngezi responses, yonke loo nto leyo. Obviously mos i-technology, it advances as time goes by. People try to make life more easy to live by, andithi eventually izawuhambe kuhambe abantu kungabikho need yoba bamngenzi nix, because people somehow think we were meant to wake up every day and go to work for like 16 hours and have 2 days off. No, the pinnacle and perhaps cornerstone of humanity and the foundation is sex nokutya. It's to reproduce, is to find functional relationships and family relationships, and it Uyabomba ke ngoku exhausting all of this AI nale technology. Siyaphinda sibuyela pha andithi, because now if you don't have to wake up and go to work, and if everything yenziwa ile computer around, there's not going to be a lot of people outside, which gives more people time to do what they like, to spend more time with their families. Lento isisintu kanye kanye sasisuka kuyo, sizaphinda sibuyele kuyo by fire by force, because it all goes there ekugqibeleni. Because le AI izawubangela into yoba abantu baye, number one, kuzawuqale kuphela imisebenzi, number two, kuphela ezinye izinto, number three, function yezinye izinto izawuphela, so uzawuyeka ukwenziwa, number four, kulandele, number five, eventually uzawuhambe kungabikho mntu ovukayo aphangele, because AI uzawube econtrola yonke into. Now another upside ye-AI yintoni is that, this is now my opinion, is that if we can use AI as e-government, that would actually be more functional, because it's a program, mind it, that is going to be programmed to do this and this and this and this. Then we will not have problems with corrupt officials, politicians, businessmen, yonke loo nto leyo. But now the downside of that as well is AI ihambe evolve into a self-teaching model or representation of theorandit. So eventually izaziteacher yona ibe so advanced that izasicontrola thina, sibe singena-choice by that time, because kuzawube ku-late. That's the downside. But the upside yile yoba, number one, izasisa ngeforce kwisintu, because andiyaba sifuye amaxhego namaxhegwazana enza ntoni epalamente angenayo ne-innovation, not even a piece. Akho nto itshintshileyo ever since, akho nto itshintshileyo. Ndiyabava abantu, ewe zikhona nje ezo, but in reality, because thina siphile kwii-fantasies, akukabikho nto itshintshileyo tu, ayikabikho. So the longer abantu bebrainwashwa, the longer we are gonna suffer under, number one, la maxhalanga amaninzi asoloko efuna ipeace apha kuthi, peace 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 peace, because akho mntu ungafumani ipeace kuthi. Ngoku into edominant ngaba bhuti bethu bangapha entla, baneentloko ezibladi. Uyababona uba benza ntoni? Because now the guest has become the owner of the house. How do I invite you kwam, and then xa ufika kwam uchopha phantsi undixelele uba no Ajusi, in fact ngoku nguwindwendwe, in fact hlala apha phantsi futhi ndizayokwenza kokwam ukutya, ndinenzele iziselo, kukwam ngoku apha. And yet ke ngoku still ne, le ndawo uyishiyileyo is very very dysfunctional, akho nto isebenzayo, literally akuhlaleki tu. And then uzosixelela uba wena uzokwakha apha okanye uzo-undermine abantu balapha. Njani kaloku bhuti, kuthiwa charity begins at home. Kutheni ungaqala apho usuka khona ulungise nje? Xa kanti wena uyakhathala, kutheni ungaqali phaa emva ulungise? By the time ufika apha ke ngoku uzosincedisa thina. Sentsho. And yet ke ngoku uyabona xa uspoyila umntu ne, number one, xa unika umntu into without them asking, you create appreciation. If you do it again, you create expectation. If you do it the third time, that creates dependency and expectation together with entitlement. Exactly. That is why singasoze senze into, because into esigude kuye yintoni? Kuparada online, sine-trigger fingers, uyabo, sine-trigger fingers. Ii-trigger fingers zotayipha ochachachachacha apha efowunini, because uyayazi uba andikuboni nam andikuboni, awuzundenza nto nobuphi ne, because i-intanethi I think isenze abantu ababold kakhulu siluluntu, isenze futhi asazoyika ezinye izinto, asaboyika abanye abantu okanye asabahlonipha. Because tell me how into yoba ungandazi nondazi but ukwazi undithuka online, njani mfethu, kodwa siya-engaja on something fruitful. And andifuni side sifane ne-USA bhuti wam mani, sibe allergic kulwazi ne-wisdom, because into endiyibonayo siyapho. Seemingly akho kwamntu bhuti wam owenza nix. There's no uprising, there's no, kanti funeka kude kuthini ukuze ibe kanti siyayibona into eyenzekayo, because number one, i-evident into yoba iibhenki zisityela imali. Number two, i-evident into yoba ii-pharmaceutical companies ziyasimanipulate because medication lesiyisebenzisayo it creates dependency because siquqa sibuyelela kuyo. Abantu be-grand banee-painkillers nee-sleeping tablets, ucinga uba zii-victims zantoni? Because xa ndisela umhlonyana ndigula yifiva ndimsela ngelaa xesha, ngomso ndivuka ndirayithi. Number two, umhlonyana akana-side effects and akazuthi kum mandiquqe ndibuyelela ndisela. Funeka ndimane ndihlapha ndibheke ematyholweni ndiyowukha. I don't understand. Yintoni ngoku ekufuneka siyibonile? Like funeka kude kuthini wena bhuti wam into yoba kanti siyithathe serious, because number one, siyakwazi ngoku ukwenyelisa isiko lethu ngesiko. Phofu mandingathi because ayilo siko noba lisiko, ngencwadi, amaphepha ekhiwe emthini. Uva abantu ngoku i-direction yabo okanye like the philosophical ethos of most people, ufike iBhayibhile njani, and ufike abantu beqina enyaleni uba hayi ngoku ke ngoku sebeyiveza ngokwabo abantu abatyheli aba, andingathi noba batyheli futhi babapinki. Sebeyixela ngokwabo into yoba hayi no saxoka mani bethuna, kahle kahle sebeziyithatha kuni le nto. Still abantu banenkani, hayi okusalayo iyasisebenzela thina. Inisebenzele entweni? Because nigcwele ezicaweni, niyasokola nonke, lahlekiswa ngoophasta abathweleyo kwangesi sintu. Qha niyazi, like I understand bafuneka kude kuthini. Jonga ngoku, that's why abantu abafana ngubani lo mntu, Oscar Mabuyane, feel entitled to challenge number one i-sovereign tribal leader to the extent that ufune uthi uyovalelwa. Yakhe yabanjwa phi iking, inkosi Grootman? Yakhe yaphi loo nto leyo, kubanjwe inkosi? Number two, wena Diya ungumXhosa, uwatyeshele to the point that ungabambisa nobukhosi isiko lakho, because igrid kongamele ngamandla. Like understand man, but mandiphela apha because andiyeki uthetha, ndawukophela bhuti.
Jambas, usebenzile mfo ukuthi man. Usebenzile Jambas, Mfene Msuthu, Canzi. Kuthiwa sesanzanze sazonza kwathi gqi umuntu. Kuthiwa phala kuhle ngoba le ndlela iyehlele. Jambas, I'm gonna then respond based on the things you said. A lot of things, my brother, which I think is very good. I'm very happy that you said this. It's been a while since I've had you around here. I want to start on one thing, which I think it connects everything you said. That everything you said connects capitalism. And I always say, people who follow my work know that all the isms and schisms, which means all these systems and their breakaways, the truth is that they all operate as one unit. It's just small
students sakho Grootman, ndiyazi kuwe loo nto leyo, then ithatha kuwe.
Indeed.
Straight. The black person was never considered
human. You are not human. These systems of capitalism, socialism, all of them, and I mean all of them, not even a single one, was devised with the backdrop of a black person in mind. Not even a single, and I mean even the political parties that you see today, even trade unions, these things you think, these things that are purported to protect people's rights, at the very core, were never even about black people. So that is the core of the system. Regardless of which branch of the system you find yourself in, whether you find yourself on the capitalist side or on the socialist side, or no, I'm not socialist, I'm communist. Yeah, Baba, you are none of that. In this system, The truth is that you are not even part and parcel. You're just the labor class. You're the lowest caste of all creatures. In fact, in the system of capitalism, abantu abansundu, indigenous people, are below animals. That is the truth. They are absolutely below animals. So we have to get to a point where we're like, no, kukunya oku ngamasimba la.
Apho
Yeah,
futhi bendisizapho
this
uba
is
kunovalwa
rubbish.
la channel ipha ngase-Egypt siyabasuffocate, the entire Europe iyasuffocate. Bakhe njengoba nje i-Iran ivale i-Strait of Hormuz, xa sinomanage into yoba siconvince ii-Somalians zirevolte against iDjibouti, zithathe over iDjibouti ne-Eritrea leyo iselwe iba yiSomalia iyonke, so that kuzokhutshwa ezi phaa kwezaa countries ziphaa, emveni ko siyovala phaa phezulu sivala itepu, because ayikho enye into ngoku Hotman, umntu makadibane nemele entanyeni qha, ayikho enye into ngoku. Hey, kunini sithetha madoda.
It's nice that, and that will work because then we have the resources. They need us. We don't need them. They need us. Here's the problem now. What you just mentioned about Udia, Oscar Mabuyane, looking down on his own king, because Udia kaloku ngumthembu. History tells us that Udia abathembu yikumkani yakhe. The reason why he looks down on that, because in the system of capitalism, he knows he ranks higher. He ranks higher. He has direct access to the puppet master. So he gets sent, as long. That's why he will look down on these ones, because he has to sign on some documents that approve his salary or that approve some budget.
Yilaa greed ndithetha ngayo ke
You understand?
mkhuluwa.
So the system,
Utshaba igreed nomntu omhlophe.
and if umntu wakuthi, ours, is part of the system, they have to be treated as part of the system. They have to be treated as the problem. They have become umntu omhlophe. And it's very important that our people understand. I always tell people that, guys, aba bantu bakuthi who are part of the system, who are perpetuating the system and the status quo, they are no longer our people. You just have to be accepted. You just have to accept it. They are no longer our people. They aren't our people. And we have to treat them as such. You are not part of the system if you don't make decisions in the system. You're not part of it. You're fuel to the system. You're not part of the system if you don't have any influence on the decisions of how things work. You're just fuel. You're being consumed by the system. It's like saying food is part of human life. We eat food, but it doesn't make any decisions for us. Food is rates even higher because at least it's living stuff. In this system, indigenous people are not part of it. They just get consumed. Any part of this society, any part of the world, you can go to the Americas, you can go to Australia, you can go to Asia. All the indigenous nations have been absolutely diminished. Absolutely diminished.
Xolo ndingakuqhawulanga mkhuluwa man. Khona there's a small part endingayikhange ndiyimenshine. Do you understand into yoba uNestle ekutyeni kwabantwana kufunyanwe ntoni? Ezi companies zee-pads nee-tampons kufunyanwe ntoni inside kwi-product zabo? Then siye kweyesithathu. Do you know mos ilanga, it gets rid of germs, right? Siyakwazi uhlala elangeni thina because we absorb it. We are the connection between the sun and the earth. We create that connection. And it together with melanin. Now the sun, again, I'm saying it gets rid of germs or viruses or bacteria. Ngobani abantu abatshayo okanye benezilonda xana behleli elangeni kakhulu?
Siyabazi, Hlad. And the earth is literally rejecting them. The earth rejects them. And that's the thing now, my people. So I think all of these are evidence that anyone who becomes part of the system or one of the classes of the system becomes an enemy to oneself. Yeah, bon. Another thing you mentioned, Tlati, the whole thing of Epstein. I'm gonna show a video, guys. Né? I'm gonna show a video. Please bear with me because I need to show this video. Let me just put a nice background here, and then let me remove myself. Flip camera. I'm gonna show a nice video here. Here's an indigenous Zulu person, by the way. Let's now do this. Let's check. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. We're gonna watch this for a while.
Here's the problem with Epstein.
By the way, this is one of the more influential replacements of Charlie Kirk. You understand? This is Nick Fuentes. He's one of the more influential followers of the right wing. Yeah, this is Fuentes. I've shown him a couple of times. So I need you to listen very carefully because this connects to the right wing and the South African right wing as well because it's one big network. It's one big network. They are here, by the way. AfriForum has been bringing them to come here. The young Republicans, blah, blah, blah. But listen carefully now. I need you to listen.
And honestly, the pedo protector thing is really dumb. Here's the problem with Epstein. The problem with Epstein is that he is a Jewish spy. That's the problem.
You did say that he was a Mossad. He was a Mossad agent. We all agree on that one.
And uthatha i-ropes ungowesibini yena. Remember,
Yes.
after 9/11, sasicimba i-Middle East igqibile nge-USA kanti saqala.
Yes.
Now, this Epstein is the second stage of the collapse. Because Epstein, no Craig Spence, which was the former Epstein before Epstein took over from him. By the way, both these people always die mysteriously, and it's always linked to suicide or linked to ubulewe ngendlela engacacanga okanye engaziwayo. So they capture the entire elite of the West, specifically in North America. And then after some time capturing them by release.
Yes. Maskube, because they've already restricted the live, they've suspended gifts. Just see, guys. I've not even played this for 2 minutes. My live has already been suspended. Like they've restricted it. They sent me a message now, and I can't be gifted for the next 10 minutes. That's the thing. That's the thing, and they use this to discourage anyone to speak. But anyway, even this one is a puppet. Same thing with Epstein, but this one is on the Catholic side. I get Epstein is on the Jewish side. This one is on the Catholic side. Let's continue.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it. But I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay?
Listen to that. He says Epstein is not really a pedophile. I mean, coming from a Catholic, that makes absolute sense, doesn't it? Because they are known worldwide for abusing young boys.
They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big difference. In my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there. Okay? The issue is not that they were barely legal teens, which is what it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax. No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy, probably working with Israel. That's the dilemma there.
So he says it.
He's working with Israel.
Yeah.
No, out. What do you mean it's not pedophilia because Epstein is a Jewish spy? So then, if he's a Jewish spy, how does that get you to define Indoba as not pedophilia? Because pedophilia is one.
I'm gonna explain.
And these people, ne? I go Epstein lo wenze. It's these people. Why do they keep coming back? Why do they keep taking rides on jet ka Epstein?
Yeah. No, this guy, remember. So this is how they work when I said it's called a tiptoe strategy that they use. Like Epstein and Mossad did it. They get dirt on these elites. It's not new. The Rothschilds family have been doing it for a very long time. When it's time for war, they go to one side, they loan them to buy weapons. They go to the other side, they loan them to buy weapons. Whichever side wins owes the Rothschilds. Whichever side loses owes the Rothschilds. So same thing now here. This one is an agent of the same agenda with Epstein, but he's coming from a different angle, the anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic angle. He's pro-Catholic, but you may find that he himself is Jewish. It's just fulfilling a duty. Do you understand? That's how they operate. So he's there acting like, okay, no, it's not pedophilia. So as much as he's bashing Epstein because they've decided that he's going to be the sacrifice. I get it. They're going to sacrifice his person. They're going to sacrifice his identity, his person. So they've decided, okay, Epstein is a free for all, but at least secure that this is not pedophilia. So either way, yes, he's a double agent. Either way, even if Epstein was bad, but what they were doing to babies is not pedophilia. Now let's watch it and you will see.
Israeli intelligence. So I see these shit libs at the ICE protests in Minneapolis, and they're yelling pedo protector. They're saying to ICE, "You're with the pedo protector." Pedo president, and this idiot in the factory, they're saying this. It's like that's not even really the issue there, goof.
So the pictures of Prince Andrew floating around.
Now look at this. Look at this. This is a baby. A little baby who's not even able to walk properly. And look at this bastard here. Prince Andrew, the brother of King Charles III. It's not pedophilia according to this guy.
In a very compromised position. I guess that's fine by this idiot's logic. He was just playing with toddlers.
Look at that.
As this retard indicates. Doesn't it look suspicious when Fuentes criticizes Israel, but he has friends like Andrew Tate, whose father worked in the CIA, and CIA closely works with Mossad, and his other friend, Nico, he admitted that he's half-bred mingled African Jew. He has Jewish blood in him.
My father, when he died, someone messaged me because my father was in the CIA. He held the record of the CIA record for the fastest assimilation of a foreign language. I'm a product of the Holocaust. My last name is like a Polish-Hungarian name, and yeah, I would not exist without this. I only started to really understand a lot of this stuff recently, but that's why my grandfather's from Hungary, immigrated to Haiti, and met my grandma. So my dad's half black, and then part white, part Jewish. My mom's Filipino.
All of them.
What you think of my drip? I don't know, man.
These are all players, guys. These are all characters. All these people, the famous TikTokers, the creators, it's all characters. They go to academies when they were still young. In fact, even that girl, Charlie Kirk's wife, she was in an academy, the same one as these guys. They were raised for this. It's not something they just did, It's not some random thing. These people were raised, they were trained to do this. But just shortly, I want to show you what these people have in common with some of the more prominent voices in South Africa. Let's check what they have in common. I'll show you quickly before I get banned, because they will ban me. Let's just check quickly.
So linye live abantu aba noba bangazibhena zibe-7 azizuphela amandla tu.
Of course not.
It's
war.
Siyovala phaya ngase-Egypt into ezakwenzeka. Emveni koko siphake kwa-aircraft esuke north on the western side of Africa. Siyaphaka qha. Phosa ne-grenades because siyaqhelwa mos ngoku.
I see they've removed some stuff now from his biography. But anyway, he's a Jew. That's the common denominator here. This bastard, this destabilizer, this agent is a Jew from Hungary. Literally. Rob Herzog, Jewish. Let me actually show you. But somehow they remove now
Hitler's
this stuff.
country. Lelka Hitler. Austria-Hungary is Hitler's native.
Man, these people, they actually look at this.
Country.
Look at this. They say his family used to be Jewish and now they are Anglican. How can they used to be Jewish? You can't used to be something. You are always that. But look at this one as well. We all know her. We all know her. She's from the same group as these other ones. Helen Zille. Helen Zille's Jewish roots strike a poignant note at book launch at archived blah blah blah. Even interestingly, there's another one I saw in an old account of his, an old bio of his, where he wrote.
If I would tell you, Hodman, the stories Kazile, it would need 10 to 15 minutes yayo yodwa because ndine files zakhe.
I think we will need that. We'll need a live for that. Even this one, in an old bio of his, this one, Don, he wrote there, what is this? Conservative Jews, those other Jews, man, I forgot the name. Orthodox Jew or something like that. Orthodox Jew. So I want you to start noticing a pattern. We already know this one. Uguti, he's a Jew. He openly admits it. He doesn't mind. He was telling Undlozi to stop bashing the Jews too much. Yeah, boy. We already know Julius Malema, Lemba people, Black Jews of Africa. And there's many others. I mean, since the days of the struggle, if you check your Slovos, you will see one thing. And these people are very few. But somehow they all have the exact same thing. Joe Slovo was a prominent Lithuanian-born Jewish South African. That's Joe Slovo. Now let's check Helen Suzman. It's going to be the exact same thing. Helen Suzman was a prominent South African anti-apartheid born Lithuanian Jewish immigrant. Do you get what I'm saying, guys? There's always something in common and somehow it goes to the same place. In fact, you can even go further than that. You can go as far as the days of the Portuguese invasion of South Africa, when the Portuguese were coming in to Natal, what they named Natal, when they were coming in to what they called Mozambique, what they called De La Guabe. Let me wipe my lens, looks dirty. Because most of the Portuguese were actually Jewish. A lot of the Portuguese were Jewish in the 1500s, in the 1400s, after the Spanish Inquisition, the Inquisition of Spain and Portugal by Queen Isabella. A lot of the Portuguese who came were actually Jews. In fact, when we were discussing yesterday with Mukaranga Wagwambe, he was mentioning that the Moyo, Abantu Bagwamoyo, the Moyo people here in South Africa and Mozambique, who are also known as Senhor, are actually Jewish. So that's something that we need to notice. Anyway, thank you for the gift, Sud. Let's continue.
Adonai. Eloheinu. Melech.
You know, reliable source. Sure, I'm not trying to get you to put it on.
Okay, show respect.
If it goes anything against your religion, I would not want you to put it on. Well, I am part Jewish.
All of this looks like a big show, a big charade. All of this
They've suspended gifting again.
Is very carefully orchestrated. And they're plans. So this makes me extremely suspicious and extremely cautious. Because I don't believe a word that these guys are saying.
So I became a messenger, bitch, I'm the villain. Truth man!
You see, there's a Sudanese there. There's a Sudanese there. He's part of the gang. Okay, let's fast forward. I'm not interested in the club nonsense. The whole point here is to show that the same guy who preaches, oh, we must fight for American values, he goes clubbing with pedophiles and women abusers.
Goofing around with toddlers. Those videos from the Epstein list, where we can see the blurred face of a little child. There's nothing to it. There's no pedophilia in it. Don't bother with it. It's all a hoax, right?
Look at
It's
that.
a democratic hoax.
It's that simple. Why do you think he is working so hard not to get them released for so many months? What do you think the real reason is?
These files implicate billionaires and friends of his and of political donors that he's trying to protect. And Epstein also had close ties to our own intelligence agencies and Israel's intelligence agencies. That's why there's so much effort in trying to stop this. And I do believe they'll try to stop it somewhere else. And that's going to backfire on them.
They said, I don't think I'm going to make it to heaven in front of a massive group of people, 56,000 people. And they were all saying, oh, what does he mean? I don't think I'm going to make it to heaven. I'm doing a great job for a lot of people, but I don't think...
Listen to that. He says he's not going to make it to heaven. But listen why he says that. Just listen. He's mocking them. Listen to his reason for not making it to heaven.
So, I'm just not worthy of heaven. I'm not going to make it. And I was having a good time going, I was having fun. I hope to make it. But I doubt I will, to be honest with you. A lot of you will. I'm not saying so. But I am allowed to cut off.
Oh, this guy cut the video. He says, I'm not going to make it to heaven, but one may say that I'm already there. Literally, that's what he said. I know that video.
And then people are clapping and laughing there.
Exactly. He's mocking them. It's just like Ramaphosa, when a young girl innocently called him cupcake, and Ramaphosa was like, my response to you guys who say cupcake, you must eat cake. That's literally what he said. You know, you must eat cake is an old story of mockery, where the elite class mocks the poor class in ancient times, or maybe some time back, some queen from Europe, I don't know, those European Caucasian cultures. People were protesting for bread. Like, there's no bread. They don't afford bread. In France, yes. She's like, oh, they must eat cake then. Imagine. So it's a mockery that, oh, you don't have bread. Oh, no, just eat cake. It's like, who's this guy? Le Soufi, who was saying, oh, no, guys, we all suffer. I don't have water as well. I had to go to a hotel this morning because I don't have water. I'm like, bro, what the hell are you talking about? These people live on tin houses, shacks. 17 million bloody people living on tin shacks, and you're telling them that we all suffering the same because when you were forced to go to a 5-star hotel to bath.
In all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1.
And I said, this is our first Jewish president.
Listen to that. Listen to that again. Just listen to that.
Anything I want, but I can't charge $1.
And I said, this is our first Jewish president. Now he's the first Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies. We thank you for everything.
What if we got the greatest deal ever from Iran?
We thank you for everything. What is there to thank? No, what is there to thank? I'm trying to understand. What is there to thank? Hebo. Also, I want to touch on something when I put Wamne. The reason why Because I think I saw someone up a comment saying we are being enslaved by our government, and I was like, no, we're being enslaved by ourselves actually, because you don't everything yonke iproof ikhona ilapha phambi kwamehlweni. Do you know how most things thrive in the world, Hodman? It's through ignorance. Yabona, most of the things in the world, what makes the world go around actually is ignorance more than money. Because you know why? There's still some people who think abantu abamhlophe don't practice witchcraft or it's something foreign to them. Njani, how do you think they were able to colonize us? Ucimba bayithatha phi into yoba intloko kayintsi abayoyigcina kwenye indawo bebembulelele apha? To go to the extent of flying or putting it in a boat ihambe ingabikho apha, do you think that was nje okanye the fact that all the artifacts and the remains of abantu are all displayed in museums and you pay top dollar to go there because it's in Paris or it's in Rome, the city of what? So you pay top dollar for into yoba uyobuka eza artifacts pha and like, oh, that's Wakanda. Dun. Zithathwa kuwe mani ezaa zinto, yo damn it. Kanti awuboni. And also ngabo abantu abamhlophe abathathe inkolo le yenu nesintu senu bathi bogqiba banijikela kwangaso bathi nina jongani ndithanda ndinibonise masicimele sivala amehlo sithandaze kodwa thatha ingoma khupha phaa ingoma wena khupha amen masivuleni amehlo but hayi bo ziphi ingoma kaloku besicimele sonke kaloku bethuna njani nisibuze kuthi and also futhi niyeke le nto yoxhela kakhulu manzi incede ezathathwa ezi ngoma it's for a good cause because evil le nto niyenzayo and then in return they do it to you guys. Why do you think everything, no matter how mad we get, no matter how agitated, nothing really or no one really stands up for it? It is because aba bantu bafake i-covenant, i-spells, iincwadi ezazi kwi-pyramids, the texts that they were able to translate and the knowledge they got from surveys ne-interviews that they conducted at that time. Where do you think they are? Zivalelwe P Vatican. Ngubani ongenayo eVatican? Kutheni zivalelwe? Nintsi ukufa knowledge evalelwe pha bayivala ngamabomu so that they say they discovered something. Kodwa kudala ikhona.
Yeah, they just keep on releasing nje bits and pieces. Masiqhube hlathi.
Exactly.
Masiqhube.
Missiles. They're going to become Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. No more terrorism. That's right. They're going to reject.
Let's start from the beginning.
We thank you for everything.
What if we got the greatest deal ever from Iran? They're going to give up their nukes. They're going to give up their ballistic missiles. They're going to become Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. No more terrorism. That's right. They're going to reject their own Islamist ideology of the 7th century that they've used to indoctrinate others, that they preach every single day. That's right. Khomeini's going to become Mahatma Gandhi, and the world is going to have peace forever. Yeah, we'll sign that deal. Sure, we'll sign it. Now, why would they sign such a deal? What if it's the greatest deal of all deals ever? Why would they sign it? You see, the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, it's not a matter of a deal, a negotiation, or diplomacy, or playing this thing out. Khomeini, the Islamist Nazis, have told us what they're going to do. And they believe this is directed by God. And they have slaughtered tens of thousands of their own people in the last few weeks, over the years, in order to advance this agenda. Do you think signing a deal is going to stop anything? Do you think they're going to honor the deal? The issue isn't whether we negotiate. The question is, why do we negotiate? The question is, why do we think some deal is going to keep these
what? These animals? That's what you had in mind.
Is going to keep these people under control. It's not. And even if they were to pull back during the Trump presidency, that's 3 more years. What about after that? What if we get a Biden or an Obama? Or what if we get some weak Republican? The only president to actually take forceful action against Iran is President today, Donald Trump. What happens when he leaves? Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot, as our generation, leave it to the next generation, our children and grandchildren, to deal with this. We must deal with this. Or they'll have tens of thousands of ballistic missiles. They'll have scores of nuclear warheads, and they will be able to reach our country. And since they've been willing to slaughter their own people by the tens of thousands, you better believe that they will use those nuclear warheads against our children and grandchildren. They're weaker than ever before. They're not going to be this weak ever again. You think our envoys or somebody else's?
Yeah.
No. So what this is implying is that you as EUSA are the only country, or perhaps the West is the only country or state or group of states that should have advanced weapons. Uyamvuthisa uMake bra uthi lo mjita because bazawude bafike kwipoint yoba bakwazi uzithumela zide zifike nalapha kuthi. So mayibe ngobani abakwaziyo uthumela ke ngoku?
No, what these people are saying,
he says control. What is the obsession with e-control? Like, why can you not stay apha kowenu? Hlala apho and look after your people. Dictators killing their own people.
Nah, man, these people, these people are at a war. Are in war. It's war, Chambers, and it's not a war with one country or whatever. They are against time. They have a plan, a master plan, a big plan. This war,
it's not gonna work.
This war, more than it is about
now.
But more than it is about missiles, you must notice the war is more public facing than it is private. They are trying to win the minds of the people and the opinion of the public more than anything. Now, I want you guys to notice the tactics they are using. They select a specific narrative and they hold on to that narrative to perpetuate why they have to keep on doing this thing. They've already started in South Africa. They've already started now. South Africa is unsafe for white people. South Africa is bad. It's just going to keep on escalating. We are next. I promise you. We are next. They've bombed every other country and we are saying, we've been standing on the way of these people. We've been standing on the way from since ever. You understand that? And we've made ourselves target number 1 now. The end goal.
You know what?
Yeah.
I know Mandiglin to Putin.
No, what I'm saying is these people, they want to rule the world. Actually, I will play you some more videos, guys. Don't worry. The end goal is to rule the world. They want to rule the world. They want to control everyone. They are Messiah, Mashiach. You know, Christians are going to cry when they realize what these guys think about them. But I want you guys to see. I know it's a very hot video. It's going to make you angry. But I want you just watch it. You're going to see some. Yeah. This is nothing. This is nothing.
So what I wanted to touch on, Nehudman, is that actually they are losing. The West is declining. Number one, they thought this was going to be a guerrilla warfare type of war because they're still clinging on their old ways. There's no innovation. Iran said, no. This is going to be an economic war. We're just going to suffocate you. How? But Iran, number one, is the most perfectly positioned country for war on all directions. Because number one, the space just after the border of Iraq, Saddam Hussein, that entire stretch of land from north up until south and close to the middle, it is just mountainous terrain. So number one, bases the USA, they're not gonna know where the missiles are gonna come from. because there's literally nothing in that stretch of land. It's just mountain terrain. It's like Mongolia and China, Mount Everest. Iraq, when it tried to invade ngelaa xesha, tried to take the northern state of Iran for its oil, they tanks and the helicopters zabo, they could not cross over the first 7 kilometers because of the terrain. Now, ii-bases zonke ze-USA, they are in Kuwait, they are in Qatar, they are in Yemen, they are in Saudi Arabia, they are in... So Iran was strategic. They said, okay, where now you think we're going to strike the White House? No, we're going to kill your assets here in the Middle East so that the war becomes so costly and so expensive for you that you have no choice but to surrender. And then when you surrender, we're going to bomb you some more. Because right now, the West is declining, Kagbi.
No, the West is declining. The West has been declining. But here's the thing, Shad. Only maybe 1% of us can see it. That's the reality. You understand? People cannot see. And a lot of these wars, most of the time, the West has lost. For a very long time, the West has lost wars. But nobody knows because it's a war of information. And this is exactly what these people have done. They've lied and lied and lied and lied and censored and opposed and demonized anything that stands to sort of like offer an alternative view. And that is where we have to be very mindful. Look at the situation right now, Shat. Let's bring it back home here in South Africa. What's more out there, the good or the bad about South Africa? It's the bad. And there's only one group of people who are oiling that machine. One group of people who are oiling that machine, putting monies. I want you to go and check Lex Libertas, Solidariteit, AfriForum, AWB, Commando Corps, Landers, Broedersbond, Afrikaner Bond. All these organizations, only 7, maybe there's 50 more that I haven't counted. They have only one goal and one goal. Nothing else. To badmouth the country, to invite enemies for the country, to destabilize the country and take over again. And this is where we are not understanding it. We think war is when there's a rocket coming your way. That is the end of the war. That determines the end. The beginning of the war is with information. There's language, there's rhetoric, and you must see it. You must see it before it comes. You must see it as it starts. And in South Africa, it started long ago. It started, but South Africans don't get it. They don't see.
You will surrender alone. Ungakulinga usifake kulondo le. And asifuni magwala apha. Lukanyo bali yakwamngamele information. Khwelela abanye abayidingayo futhi.
Yebo Lukanyo, don't worry.
Uzandiphazamisa ngoku.
Uzoqina Lukanyo. Bazoqina abantu. I know our people are afraid of war. They've never seen. It will disturb your mind. It will. That's why you must fight it now. Don't wait. Don't wait when the blood is spilling. Usulinda. Musa ukulinda.
Ukufa kodwa awuyazi noba injani le nto uyoyikayo. Awuyazi noba injani. Uyoyika nto because awuyazi zange wafa mos.
Let's continue.
Envoys or signing an agreement is going to change the mindset of a terrorist regime that is slaughtering its people as I speak, that is already trying to build new nukes. We signed.
So you see, it's information, it's perspective. They're saying that these guys are slaughtering their own people. So that means they must destroy these guys because these guys are evil. That's the exact same thing they're going to say with your country. No, the ANC has killed more black people than apartheid. And then they'll go and quote statistics. Black people die more than anyone else in this country. We must destroy the ANC. They don't give a damn about black people who are dying. They give a damn about power and control.
Peace in our time? No. The problem isn't negotiations. The problem isn't they won't agree to this or that, or we can get the best deal in world history. The problem is them. The West needs to understand what we're dealing with. For 47 years, I don't know what it's going to take, but we need to comprehend what we're dealing with. That regime needs to be eliminated.
And this guy, by the way, is not part of the West. This guy is a Jew. He's a Jewish president from Israel. They are using the West just as a puppet because, as you said, they've got dirt on all the elites, so they can do whatever they please. America falls, they move on to the next target, which is China. And they've already been moving to China in huge numbers. They're struggling, but they've started now. They've gotten India, which brings them a step closer to China. They've gotten India thoroughly. If you go back to the days of the Soviet Union, 85% of of the government of the Soviet Union, I promise you, 85% of the government was Jewish people in the Soviet Union. Why? Because they're able to identify who's in power. The moment the Soviet Union fell apart, they left. They were also in Germany, huge numbers, 85%, all the way to America. Today, majority of people, the entertainment industry, news, telecommunications, controlled by them entirely. The underworld controlled by them entirely. And they've been moving for the past 10 years now. They've been moving to South Africa. They've been moving to China. And they've got people in India. In fact, there are even Chinese Jews. Did you know that? Did you know that there was even Chinese Jews? I'm telling you, I've said it long ago. The painter was one of them anyway. And the painter did not get killed. The painter was moved to the Americas. First in Argentina. And some people say the painter was actually given a new identity as Walt Disney. But that's for another day. But some people have been saying that Walt Disney was actually the painter.
Also,
Walt Disney was actually the painter.
We must understand that none of these countries want what's best, or they are not doing it in the best interest of our country. I understand we are alliances with Russia, China, Iran, Brazil, but one thing you must always understand is that in whatever they do, they prioritize the interests of their own country, which means some point, somewhere, somehow in the future, bazasijikela, because all of these people are white. Now, there's nothing akho nto unoyenza ngabantu bebala eli lesandla, so mphakathi lo wesandla akho nto unoyenza, bonke bayafana, whether bavela ngoku or bavela next week or bavela next year, bazawuvela. And by the time bevela uza kothuka, uthi usothukile, you will be stuck in fight or flight mode, ungayazi uba mawuthini because usamashekile. Always expect the unexpected, but never expect anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's continue.
Comprehend what we're dealing with. That regime needs to be eliminated.
Absolutely.
You killed Jeffrey Epstein, you animal! He was a good man!
He knew too much about our Russia operations. He had to die, and now you die too. Epstein was the key to our evil Russian operations, but no one will ever know, because the truth dies here.
It's bizarre to think that a little over a year ago, we tried to notice if AI was capable of generating 5 fingers, and now we have videos like this. Imagine if you saw this on TV in another year or two. It would look pretty believable. You would need to have...
Continue. Now it's showing other stuff now. Hey, these people have been restricting this the third time now. They're telling me they've restricted it. Let's continue to the next section of the video. Yeah, this is very important. This is what I really wanted to show you guys. It's coming.
I think there's more that you're not revealing.
So, back to the island topic. Some of these emails are extremely disturbing. Let's read a couple of them. One of them says, "Hi Aunt Ghislaine, I hope you are well. I look forward to seeing you. When that might be, however, I'm not sure. I'll email you when I'm able to do something with you. As for my wish list of actresses I'd like to do nasty things to, though not complete, would probably look something like this. First, Natalie Portman. Queen."
So he's sending an email with the request of the ladies he wants. is ordering from Elaine Maxwell, the partner of Epstein. So this is what the first order.
Amidala of the new Star Wars. Second, possibly Jennifer Love Hewitt. Third, Dennis Richards. As for things I'd like to do, whether it be in London, New York, New Mexico, or the Caribbean, not quite sure at all, though I will look into it. In New York, besides see the sights, possibly some theater or something of that sort. Anyway, I've got to run. Thank you very much for offering all of these things. All these things only add up to the reason I would be there to see you, your nephew. Okay, and the email is titled, Dear Fairy Godmother. Insane. Okay, on to the next one. Gilligan, I didn't get your email, ? Did you talk to Jane? Is everything okay? Can we talk about treasure hunt for girls on the island?
Treasure hunt for girls on the island. Can we talk about treasure hunt for girls on the island?
Treasure hunt? Like a Boy Scout or something? We will be there on January 4th. Give me your private phone number. Do you miss me yet? Love, love. Treasure hunt. So this one says, subject, snipe hunt is over. Moon crickets in the field bag. So it's obviously a coded message. But guess what? There. You can read it yourself.
So they were hunting. They got the things they were hunting for, the people. Now this one sent a message. Guess what? They are N words. So the hunt was done. They got a surprise that, damn, it's black people. They're already in the bag. So they done hunting them. They got them now. Now they're in the bag. So they were shocked because that island, they generally like the more lighter races.
Yourself. So these fake Jews, they're not racist at all. Treasure hunt and snipe hunt. To Jeffrey Epstein. Thanks. Thrilling hunt. Ariane de Rothschild.
This is Ariane de Rothschild. She says it was a thrilling hunt. She's in the finance world, by the way.
Got it. Amazing old male and amazing hunt.
She got an amazing old male, and it was an amazing hunt. Then she continued to say, my bankers should be careful. She's in the financing space. So if the bankers are not respectful to her, they're going to disappear. She's going to hunt them. Let's look at this person. This is the person who was hunting the old man. This is her here. This is her. This is her. It's crazy how she's still here. Everything is still here. Nothing has been done.
Should be careful. And Ariane de Rothschild, if we go to her Wikipedia page, it says that she's a French banker and the CEO of Edmond de Rothschild Group since March 2023. She's the first woman and the first person without Rothschild lineage to run a Rothschild-branded financial institution. She was married to Benjamin de Rothschild from 23rd January 1999 until his death on 15th January 2021. The Rothschild family hunting some. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Guys, I think these devils, they're actually hunting humans for sport. Can you even grasp that? It's like that movie Get Out. It's insane. It's insane how much coding there is in movies and how...
Interestingly, the wife of the guy who made this movie, you will see what they have in common with these people, the wife of that guy.
They're mocking and showing all these things. Oh man. I can't even wrap my head around that one.
One day you're developing prints in the dark room, the next day you wake up in the dark. Genetic disease.
Shit ain't fair, man.
Oh, you got that right. Shit ain't fair.
And there was this photo. It's similar to the one day later it's slush. Can't get out
For phase 3, the transplantation. Well, partial, actually. The piece of your brain connected to your nervous system needs to stay put, keeping those intricate connections intact. So you won't be gone. Not completely. A sliver of you will still be in there somewhere. Limited consciousness. You'll be able to see and hear what your body is doing, but your existence will be as a passenger. An audience. Live in this place. I want your eye, man. I want those things you see through. This is crazy.
Jordan Peele's wife, the director of Get Out, Jordan Peele, his wife, Chelsea Peretti. Well, he has Jewish blood. Yeah, she has Jewish blood. Are you surprised? Every single time. Are you surprised? Are you surprised?
What's your favorite thing to eat in Chicago? I didn't really. Everyone said I should eat pizza. I was like, well, no, I don't want to. And then, because I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to.
Take a step back because you just said something crazy.
Do you know what pizza is? It's young children. It's like it's babies. It's a code word for babies.
What do you mean, why would you want to eat pizza? President Trump, we need someone deported immediately. Yes. He's calling pizza an open sandwich.
With the first 10 rows relaxed, Ellen spent time off the stage and among the nominees.
Because I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza. And so
Again, these are like elites, man. And somehow they only talk about pizza in all these meetings of theirs. Like, which elites are busy talking about pizza, guys, whenever they meet on national TV? Do you want pizza? I want pizza. There was a time when there was this scandal called Pizzagate, where the files, just like the Epstein files, the Pizzagate files were released. Your favorite celebrities, John Legend's wife, LeBron James, all the celebrities were exposed as well of having partaken in this whole thing of pizza and child molestation.
So if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza?
Yeah.
I think khona into esiyiphosayo apha, khona into esiyiphosile. Phakula movie Get Out.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Ayizozithunzela eziyana mkhulu.
Yes, zizo.
Xana kuthiwa umntu uswelekile
Yeah.
wangcwatywa, and then later kuthiwe hayi bo
Yes.
lo bendimbona entontoni. Xa kuthiwa umntu
Yes. Yes.
uyasetyenziswa ke bethuna sube kuthethwa laa nto. That is why
Yes.
ndisithi aba bantu, number one, bathwele, and number two, bane-knowledge enzulu abayithatha apha. Yiyo le bayisebenzisa kwakuthi.
Bathwele ngathi.
Uyayibona?
Bathwele
Utshaba
ngathi for the most
lundongamele
part.
funi luze ngeenyawo lundikhupha kwi-live ndithi liphambene not namhlanje.
No, bathwele ngathi aba bantu hlathi futhi. That's what I was saying. Someone was asking there, who's part of the system and who's not? I said, those who are part of the systems are those who make the decisions. Tina, we are the fuel. Now, if you're the fuel, kuthwelwe ngawe. Yazi umuntu othweleyo mos inyoka or ichandi or igoloma or whatever athwele ngayo. It needs to eat. It needs to be fed. We are the feed. That's why there's always scandals. We are murdering each other every weekend. Where do you think all that negative energy goes? All those bodies, it's feeding into the system, sizes tunzela, literally and figuratively.
Also,
Yeah.
people must understand the concept yothwala, the physicality of it.
Yes.
They take something that is live.
Yes.
And they use certain herbs, and then bayivalele underground. Now, what's going to happen to that? It's going to decay. What normally decays? Something that was alive, which is, in this case, either a mammal, a human, or
organic
an animal.
stuff. Yeah.
Organic stuff. Now, when the process of decaying starts, the first stage of decomposition starts with what? Flies, impetu. So the more lando ibola is the more impetu zisiya kuyo. Now, in this context, take us as impetu. We are feeding on a dead animal and this is amka. Ne? Also, we are also the dead animal as well, because kutyiwa kwalapha kuthi, kuthezwa amandla kwalapha kuthi.
I mean, the workplace is literally evidence of that. Abelungu abasebenzi, abenzi into abelungu, bakhangela thina. Abenzi into abelungu bahleli nje, abasebenzi thina. We spend years sifunde as a university. But let's continue.
Pizza, Jennifer, yes, Harrison?
Turning the Oscars into an everyone's invited dinner party with dinner.
What do you think? Julia wants cheese. Who's your favorite movie?
Guys, this is Ellen DeGeneres' background, by the way. This is the background on her show. Just look at it. It literally looks like the island of Epstein.
Star, they're here. Well, who do you want to talk to? Oh.
And then passing a very famous hat to pay the delivery guy.
What do you have, Harvey?
Look at this guy. Harvey Weinstein, a biggest pedophile and pervert.
Mr. D.
I'm telling you.
How many grown men email each other about getting pizza, or about how tasty the pizza was, or about how many slices you can slice a pizza up into, or how many people will be at the pizza party? Then there's another email. It stuck out to me because it has the word Red Hook in it. Someone was emailing asking if another guy can go to Red Hook for a pizza meal later. It turns out that Red Hook is the address of where Jeffrey Epstein's Virgin Islands businesses are domiciled. It's on the marina where you would leave in the boat to get to his island. And someone was emailing asking if another man can go to where Jeffrey Epstein's business is domiciled for a pizza meal. They're using food language in ways that does not square with how food actually gets eaten or talked about.
So that's where Clooney lives, George Clooney lives.
Yes.
And Jen and George are friends. So
George.
You went to George's house?
Yes, of course. And him and his wife and all these nice people were there, and they invited
Jen and me. I know George back in the day too. So we
Of course, Sandler too. He's a Jew.
we went there and you take a boat. You get on a boat and you cruise down. Went over to their house. They made us homemade pizza, and it was an amazing time. I sat next to Bono. It was a good day.
That is a good day.
Did you hear what they ate? Did you hear, guys? Like on national TV.
Back in the day too. So we went there and you take a boat. You get on a boat. You cruise down. Went over to their house. They made us homemade pizza, and it was amazing.
We took a boat and went over to their house. And then we did what? We had homemade pizza. A boat takes you to an island.
Amazing time. I sat next to Bono. It was a good day.
That is a good day. She likes to. She's busy all the time. I know she's the greatest host, but
she is a good.
I'm going to bed at 9. I can't come over. Your thing starts at 8:30. So
yes, she can handle it. She can handle it. And her parties are incredible at her house too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza.
Wonderful pizza. All right, just. Y'all are all like, whatever.
So these circles of friends that you guys have, you talk about having pizza at the Clooney's in Lake Como.
Yeah, that's all an Aniston thing. She's like, George and I would love you to come over for pizza, but you have to dress right.
What did you put in his after lunch
You have to dress right, Adam.
Good
you can't
God.
show up in your shorts.
Don't embarrass me.
Exactly. I don't want to embarrass you.
Clooney would. By the way, Clooney wears shorts and he wears t-shirts just like the Sandman. They just have to lay on him a little better. That's the only difference.
How was the pizza? Was it good?
What
did he make it
Mom's
himself?
pizza was better.
Guys, come on, man. Who goes and has a celebrity interview and keeps on asking about pizza for like minutes and minutes on end? Who does that?
Better than Clooney. They both made. Everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
Something that he does.
5 different kinds. 5 different kinds.
5 different kinds of pizza. There's no pizza we did not like. That's telling you that they were molesting children. That's literally
Asian
what
pizza, Indian pizza, Middle Eastern pizza, black pizza, South American. Which other 5 do you think there are?
Exactly. That's it.
There are 6 different kinds of pizza that night. Clooney's was excellent.
Shut your trap.
Amal's was the winner.
This is what I like to call placenta. Kim and I decide to marinate some juicy placenta.
Did they say placenta?
And cook.
They are gonna eat placenta now, yes.
Ay, man, puti, man. Ay, man.
This is Zamva.
Ay, man.
Dance.
Yeesh.
Just listen. Just listen.
Cook it up and serve it to everyone for dinner.
You guys get into some weird. Are you both eating this or?
You're eating it too.
Okay.
And so is the whole family. A human.
What? Yes, that's the
So is the
disgusting
whole
part.
family.
Oh my god.
How not choice?
Just make sure I kill any bacteria that's in there.
Am I the best sous chef you've ever had?
Rock and roll. Open me up.
Placenta coming in. It's going to be one delicious meal.
Please do it. Placenta?
Placenta. Hi.
So what are we having for dinner?
We're having some tasty protein. This is going to be a divine meal. We've all waited. Yes. Good, there's so much flavor on its own.
Should we put some of this yummy sauce on top too?
Yeah. Here, guys. This is the grand finale.
Oh my god, that is amazing.
Is it a brisket?
Yeah.
Don't you guys these? Oh, it's nice and tender. That knife just melts right through. Please let me have the first taste.
Israeli channel 10 report.
You guys get it that it's a human placenta.
Do you understand that the placenta is the powerhouse of the womb and the baby?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey.
That's why they're eating it. And it's human. She literally said it with her mouth. Human.
Uti, and so is the whole family. Awunikwa choice. It's not like uzathi hayi okanye izawukhutshwa kuwe into ezawulandela.
Yes. You know, years ago.
Uyayazi la series bathi nguHannibal. If anyone knows Dr. Lecter from the series Hannibal.
Yeah.
Say something. That entire series when Aputwam is based on this, is it a psychotherapist or but Cookie psychology, or it's a psychiatrist, I think. But
Yes,
then ke
yes.
ngoku patient yakhe is the leading investigative officer into
Yes.
aba bantu who keep on going missing, kanti i-therapist yalo mzita yile itya abantu. Ayipheki bhuti, iza ngecala.
Okay, guys.
Yaphekela umzita umfazi wakhe, yathi yawugqiba esandwetya yathi bekumnandi ne, yathi ithi ya nam mfethu
Hey,
ndicinga uba
man,
umnandi umfazi wakho.
yeah,
Umzita wothuka woma, oko wayomile. Yabona
yeah,
uba
man.
kwi-episode elandelayo ebezimbambo phaa bembeke phezu kwe-barbecue. Ndathi Thixo.
Guys, I'm gonna continue quickly. I want you to go to the comment section and say if you want me to show you even more outrageous stuff. I'll show you your African brothers eating humans. Say so, and just know I'll be banned for 7 days. It's fine. I'm willing to be
Futhi
banned.
singa-live through mna andinanto futhi
Okay.
and sizawuhosta through mna uzandi-inbox ndiyiqale i-live ungene ucontrol as usual. Akho nto ingazuvela kulo nyaka tu. Ngunyaka wokuvela kwezinto ezisemfihlakaleni futhi ngunyaka wokuqala isiqalo esithi.
Yeah, no,
So
I hear you,
my fire.
Notange. What I need to do with that other account, I need to go live first. But obviously, I can't show my face. But yeah, I will see what I do now. Let's continue.
Israeli Channel 10 reported in March of 2014 that Israel has the largest human skin bank in the world. Where do you think they got all this skin from? They have more human skin than China and India. They are literally skinning the dead bodies of my brothers and sisters in Palestine. That's where they are getting the human skin from. And if I call them Nazis, your law is going to punish me.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we got them on the run now. Now they know that we know that they know that we know. Yes, it does matter. You did what they got.
Quickly pass this one. Guys, do you understand that these people here in South Africa, not far, here in South Africa, do you know what they used to do? They used to actually take penises and vaginas and bums. After a battle, they will actually take those things and hang them and go with them. Here in South Africa, not like somewhere else, there's probably bones of our ancestors, femur bones, tibia bones, teeth, hair in Europe being sold on auctions underground. In fact, you know, a lot of the stuff that our ancestors made is igqiki. You know, the headdresses, the headrests that we used to make with wood, the knobkiris, the sticks that they took them, they still sell them, they still make money from them to this day. A lot of our artifacts, we don't have artifacts from our great-great-grandfathers. We don't have their skin. For example, where is Shaka's crown? Where's Shaka's crown right now? Because it should be somewhere in some museum or in the royal family. Nobody knows. Where is the crown of Uyinza? But I promise you, they know. They know where the spears are. They know where the crowns are. They know where the skins they used to wear are. Ushaka, yes, he had a crown. A crown with Indwe. With Indwe, it was a traditional crown though that was made. You understand? It was a traditional crown. It had Indwe, plumes of Indwe, and Ikolomi, the red bird Ikolomi, and the blue bird Indwe, and other obviously things. They describe it in one of the books. They describe it in detail. Where is it? Where is it? I'm gonna continue.
In Hollywood is that no one searches my backyard for bodies.
I related it more to my upbringing. I grew up in a very Christian environment, a healthy environment, a loving family, but there were just parameters and things I didn't understand, questions. I always questioned it. and it took me to my adult years or leaving home.
I'm just gonna forward here. I need to go and finish this thing. Need to finish this quickly.
Someone is connected to anything illegal, but for the first time, Epstein victim Victoria Giuffre says she did have sex with Les Wexner.
I think that I'm giving a long answer, but to understand in the context.
I paused the frame. You see Lex Wexner.
You see, that's what I was saying, guys. We don't have weapons, and it's easy to get angry and want to fight these people. But when they are coming with their missiles, what are we gonna do? When the missiles are here, so wenzani? These videos are just to spread awareness and show the gravity of the situation. More than anything. Just to spread awareness and show the gravity of the situation. But when the weapons come, you understand? Sizothini. I'm gonna show you now a very, very crazy video, and you guys are just gonna see for yourselves. Let's do this. I'm just gonna quickly search through this, and then you guys are gonna see for yourselves some crazy stuff. Not this one. Let's check another one. Sizothini, like seriously. Alright, so I'm gonna show you guys now. This is my last video. We'll continue next time. I want you guys to watch and see. This is now the people that they are bringing here to destabilize our land. Remember now, these people are these are people of war. You understand? These are people of war. They understand that war comes in many different forms. And they've been bringing specific groups of people here on purpose because they understand those people will naturally gravitate towards their agenda. So I'm going to play this video now. I want you to take note and see.